too. She's really good. Yeah, when she wants to be good, she's really good. Today was the day she wanted to be. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Good afternoon and welcome into the Bank of Colorado Event Center and welcome into the boys' side of the NJC Otero first meeting of 2025 between the Plainsmen and the Rattlers. I'm Ben Blecka. Pregame show brought to you on the Eastern Plains Sports Network by Equitable Savings and Loan. They are the home team for your home loan and they'll help you out when it comes to all your banking needs because they're people you know and people who know you. Stop by one of the locations of Equitable Savings and Loan across the Eastern Plains of Colorado. Plainsmen now 6-13 on the year, 1-1 in Region 9 South play after yesterday's 80-77 loss to Trinidad. Otero's now 8-10, 2-1 in Region 9 South play, following a 112-105 win in Scotts Bluff. Head coach Samuel Coleman's team has really played some good basketball this season. Mid-70s type team, both offensively and defensively, but they really get after it, especially on the defensive end of the field. They come up and they wreak havoc. Their opponents' turnovers are pretty high, near 20 turnovers a game. Don't necessarily have the big steals that you have, only averaging 8 steals a game, but they really get after you, and it's something that's been fun to watch the progression of for this Otero team. Over the last 2 seasons, they've now had 27 games decided by 10 or fewer points, 10 of those 27 by 4 or less, but as we've talked about with head coach Eddie Trinkle, and I mentioned last night at the close of the broadcast as well, over that same span, NJC has 31 games decided by 10 or fewer, 11 by 4 or fewer. The Plainsmen now with that 1-1 record following the loss to Trinidad State yesterday are playing an Otero team that they split with last year. The home team's won 8 of the last 10 meetings. We have 4 consecutive games decided by 10 or fewer points, and you heard on the Eastern Plains Sports Network during our intermission on 94.5 The Ranch, our flashback to March 2nd, 2021. Head coach Eddie Trinkle's 300th career win when the Plainsmen hit the buzzer-beating shot to win that contest. These two teams battle, and it's much like I was talking about on the close of the women's game, because both of these teams have players from very similar areas. Yes, you have the players from outside the area, the Camille Domingos and the Keith Davises, and some of the international kids as well, but these rosters also have guys that are from right here in Colorado. So they have the familiarity throughout high school, whether they played with or against one another, and it really leads to some fun battles. And regardless of who's been coaching Otero, Houston Reed, who went on to Chadron State and is now up at, I believe he's still in Greeley at the University of Northern Colorado. When he was there, his assistant who followed him who became the head coach when he left, and now Samuel Coleman, they all play the same style of basketball that Eddie Trinkle does, and it's a very old-school JUCO feel of basketball, and that's why, more so probably than any other rivalry outside of North Platte, and that may not necessarily be the same now that Kevin O'Connor's retired, I truly enjoy NJC Otero on the men's basketball side because it takes me back to the times when I became the voice of NJC, when JUCO was a dirty word. And I don't mean to relish in that, because it never was. But a lot of people looked at junior college basketball at being the place for the rejects, and we all know that's not the case. There's a lot of international kids that make their trip here, but it was a different brand of basketball than was played anywhere else, and this game is going to be different than what you see. Eddie Trinkle talked about it at halftime in the women's game, and that's where we find our key to the contest, which is brought to you by Channel Seed, Mike Anderson, Mike Hettinger, or Advanced Agri Solutions has your channel seed. Visit channel.com/rise. In the NBA and in the highest level of Division I, there is a lot of what I call two-game when I'm just rambling about the sport of basketball, where two guys are creating, you're making the one pass and getting to the hoop. Neither of these teams do that. Both of these teams come into the half-court set. They're going to grind you. If they're pressing you full, they're really coming in with a scheme to play at you, and it is a different mindset. It is a gritty mindset of basketball, and finding that grittiness is our key to the contest in a controlled manner, because we saw the uncontrolled manner at the end of that women's game. That's why it took so long for us to get to this men's game, because of the way the women's game closed. This is going to be much that same, much the gritty battles, winning those little things, and it's those unstatable situations that always win these games. The right pass, the right screen, the right switch defensively that makes the decision in what's likely going to be another close game. I have very little hope that this game is going to be decided either way by more than 10 points, because these teams don't do that. And especially against one another, they don't do that. Nobody blows anybody out in this NJC Otero series. And so, well, yes, it's going to likely come down to the end. The things you do early are going to be the deciding factors, because if this is working, you now have that as a bluff to work towards something else you want to do. And so you need to make sure that for the entire 40 minutes or plus of this game that you play, you do it right every time down the floor. I know you're not going to be perfect, because perfect is not attainable, but it is the path to good. And the Plainsmen and the Rattlers, whoever does that game plan more perfectly, will be the one that wins this game. That's our key to the contest. Plainsmen and the Rattlers tip off when we come back. You're listening to Northeastern Basketball on the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Microphone under the video screen and a microphone here or two on the end to get port noise, and then have PA and two headsets. That works.
It better be the best video I've ever produced, because it better, our numbers better be so much higher than every other day, because I did not work my ass off just for it to not.
Oh yeah, this will be like I just said on the pregame. This is going to be a classic old school game. This is what basketball was when I started in this league. Yeah, Coleman's a good dude. I like their head coach. Yeah.
Back at the Bank of Colorado Events Center, where it's 27 degrees outside and the action setting to heat up inside of Jackson and Edwards Arena. The Northeastern Plainsmen and the Otero Rattlers. If the temperature in your house is not quite right, contact your local Lennox dealer, Bailey Mechanical. 970-522-0471. Baylor Mechanical will make sure that all of your heating and air conditioning needs are taken care of. Rattlers 2-1 in Region 9 South play. Plainsmen 1-1. And as I've talked about before, you win your games at home, you split on the road, you got a chance at the title inside this region. Well, you've already lost one at home. You can't afford to lose two at home if you want to be the Region 9 South number one. The Northeastern Plainsmen and the Otero Rattlers about set to do battle. Let's go to the public address announce system to get this second game underway.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Bank of Colorado Event Center for the NJCAA Region 9 South contest between the visiting Otero Rattlers and your Northeastern Plainsmen. Before we meet the starters for this contest, we ask that everyone please rise and remove cover as we honor our country with the playing of our national anthem. Now let's meet the starting lineups for this afternoon's contest. First for the visiting Otero Rattlers. A freshman wearing number 0, Jaden Gordon. A freshman wearing number 1, Jalen Robinson. A freshman wearing number 4, Ahmed Cisse. A freshman wearing number 24, Marco Rangan. And a sophomore wearing number 33, Jamie Rivers. The Otero Rattlers are coached by Samuel Coleman.
I'm coming in. Wake 'em up, wake 'em up, wake 'em up. See him still sleeping, so I had to shake 'em up. Coming in hot, just like the baby do. I write what I live. My life in this legal. Life with the fuck, just like the demeanor. Feet of my fam. They got the iron, well I got the cement. Shoot that shot. Hey, why not? Hey, why not? Hey, watch out.
And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Northeastern Plainsmen. He's a 6'1" freshman from Mansfield, Ohio, wearing number 2, Case Davis. He's a 6'3" sophomore from Sterling, Colorado, wearing number 3, Ryder McConnell. He's a 6'6" sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina, wearing number 5, Camille Domingo. He's a 6'11" sophomore from New Zealand, wearing number 13, Justin Sapoy. And a 6-foot freshman from Michigan, wearing number 24, Noah Adamczyk. The Northeastern Plainsmen are coached by Eddie Trinkle. Let's play ball!
Plainsmen in their white uniforms, Plainsmen Pete on the front, Rattlers in their navies. As we tip it off, brought to you by Northeastern College. Junior college is not just college, it's Northeastern. NJC.edu. Camille Domingo in the circle takes the tip against Marco Rangan, the freshman from Australia. Rangan wins it, and the Rattlers have the opening possession in this first half. Ball be walked into the front court for the Otero Rattlers. Cisse from Harlem right to the rack. Shot up, does not go, and Keith Davis comes down with the rebound for the Plainsmen. Keith ends up with the ball in the front court, and he sets first Plainsman offense up. Ryder McConnell and Keith Davis outside the arc. Keith right side of the lane through contact, up the window, knocks it in. Plainsmen get the opening bucket of the ball game. 2-0 lead, 40 seconds into the first half. Cisse near the top of the key to Rivers on the near side. Rivers finds Rangan driving in the lane, dishes backdoor for Jaden Gordon, and Gordon lays it up and in. Ties the ball game at 2, a minute into the first half. Camille Domingo will bring it past the stripe. Domingo finds Ryder McConnell, drives away from the screen. McConnell off the right wing, slams on the brakes, looking for the trail, finds it in Keith Davis. Davis flies, kicks, near side. Sepoy from 17, baseline, bangs backboard, doesn't go. Cisse down with the rebound. Long toss up the floor for the Rattlers in transition, high off the window. Jaden Gordon drops it through, and it is a 4-2 lead for the Otero Rattlers. Keith Davis walks into the front court, sets the offense up, trapping half-court defense for the Otero Rattlers, led by Jaden Gordon, the freshman from San Antonio. Ryder McConnell, top of the key, drives off a Sepoy screen in the lane. Noah Adamczyk found. He tickles the twine and ties us at 4, 2 minutes in. Robinson walks back into the front court. Gordon driving right side of the lane, blocking foul as Keith Davis attempted to take the charge. Didn't possess the space on the drive in. Our first foul comes 2 minutes into the first half. Jalen Robinson from Colorado Springs drops the inbound pass in. Work to the high post and Rangan. Rangan back out to Robinson. He drives. Ball away from 10, rolls over the rim and doesn't go in. Keith Davis down with the rebound. Plainsmen content to work that half court. Like I said last night, they're comfortable with a game that finishes in the 60s and 70s. Noah Adamczyk on the near side, dribbles through, kicks off far side. Ryder McConnell steps to his left. He's short on his shot. Camille Domingo attempting to chase it down, cannot, as it caroms out of bounds. First quarter, first half, brought to you by Sterling Health Foods, natural and effective supplements. Help your body stay healthy this cold and flu season. Stop by and see them south of Sterling on Highway 6. Rattlers working left to right in this first half as Robinson brings it into the front court. He works high post with Rivers. Rivers turns right side of the lane, throws it off the window, ball tipped. Keith Davis comes up with a rebound. Toss in transition to Adamczyk. Domingo, the intended target on the slice into the lane, punched out of bounds by the Rattler D. 17:03 to go in the first half. 4-4 between Northeastern and Otero. Keith Davis drops the ball in near side. Ryder McConnell ends up with it, down on the block. Sepoy to the window, the big man up and through, and that's part of the focused effort for NJC to get Justin Sepoy more involved offensively in 2025. 6-4 lead, 3, hammers rim, does not go in. Rebound tipped around, and Ryder McConnell comes up with it off the Robinson miss. Plainsmen look for a transition as Keith Davis runs the floor, coast to coast, high up the window, and it tumbles through. Such a dynamic player is Keith Davis. 8-4 NJC lead, first 2-bucket lead of the afternoon. Robinson swings the ball around far side, downtown, drop down for Gordon, who has all 7 of the Otero points. does Jaden Gordon. Plainsmen 4 minutes in. Next dead ball will send us to the media timeout. Adamczyk on the far side. Adamczyk stepping onto the Bank of Colorado logo in front of the Otero bench. Backs off, drives with his right on the baseline, feeds it on the clear to Sepoy, and Sepoy lays it up and in. Stepped away from the screen. The defender went with him on the baseline and left Sepoy wide open for a 10-7 advantage. Gordon, top of the key, drives right side of the lane. Nice attack of the rack. Tip back, put back two once and twice. Does not go. Rivers will back it out, and the Rattlers get another crack at it on this possession. Top of the key, Rangan. Rangan high off the window. The Aussie goes for his first points of the afternoon. 10-9 NJC, 15:08 to go in the first half, and Keith Davis walks into the front court, bolts past everybody, whips it underneath the hoop. Sepoy can't find a handle on it. Rattlers run the floor. Cece right to the hoop, dunks it and bricks it. He went for the dunk and the back iron stuffed him. Plainsmen come up with it. Domingo to Sepoy. Sepoy goes for the dunk. He is fouled, and he will head to the free throw line following the media timeout. As expected, a great start. Northeastern 10, Otero 9, 14:47 to go first half on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Plainsmen lead the Rattlers 10-9 as we welcome you back under our first media timeout in this first half to the Bank of Colorado Event Center. Brought to you by Carpet Comfort Center, elegant flooring for every step of your life. Stop by in the Broadway Plaza Shopping Center and make your house more comfortable. Justin Sepoy with a pair of free throws on the foul on Marco Rangan right before the media timeout. Brevin Trinkle and Owen Wright both checked on for NJC on that media timeout, as did Sam Webb, the Australian freshman for Otero. Brady Green is at the table. If Sepoy makes this second, he has 4 points in this opening stretch of the game. The 6'11 sophomore rattles that one in, so the Plainsmen lead 11-9, and Sepoy will take a seat. Good start for NJC. Trying to utilize their size to their advantage early in this game. Albee walked into the front court. Robinson works it far side for Rangan. Rangan back to Cisse near side. He'll pull back and pop a three and drop a three and give the Rattlers the lead. Cisse then nearly steals the ball on the inbound pass as the Plainsmen push the floor. Rattlers will turn to their bench. Ty Nettles, who averages 13 points a game coming off the bench, and Javier Mendoza, both in for their first action of the game. Cisse and Gordon taking a seat. Brevin Trinkle brings the ball into the front court, and he runs point. Trinkle feeding backdoor for Adamczyk. Ball punched out of bounds. 14-11 to go in this first half, and a matchup that has historically been very close. Started out about how we expected it. Trinkle Drops it in, and Adamczyk will set the offense up at half court. Noah driving left side of the lane, stripped as he elevates. It went off of him and out of bounds. Plainsmen hung on to the ball tolerably last night. It was critical junctures that they fumbled it away. Ball trot into the front court, and the offense will set up. Toss around onto the near side for Otero and Mendoza. Back out to Nettles, top of the key. Nettles, 10 on the shot clock, uses a screen of Webb. Works down into the corner. Mendoza, 3, too strong. And on the rebound, Owen Wright had Marco Rangan boxed out, and Rangan grabbed his shoulder and pulled it with him, and the Aussie will be forced to the bench with 13:36 to go in this first half. Needham Chadika, the freshman from Houston, on for him because 2 fouls on Rangan. Chadika is 6'5", so you lose a little bit of height for the Otero Rattlers, with him going to the bench as Trinkle runs it up. Trinkle in the lane, fouled by Nettles, the sophomore from Aurora. I believe Nettles was a Grandview Wolf. If I remember correctly, he was a part of that Wolves program that has had some really good years here recently. Keziah Williams on for NJC. Bespectacled today. I don't believe he had those on yesterday. Inbound pass to Green. Green to right at the free throw line. Fall away, took an extra step. Turns it over, a third turnover in the game for NJC. 12-11 Otero, 13-19 to go in this first half. Rattlers have already taken a game on the road. You don't want to give them 2 road wins. You need to battle this one. Eddie Trinkle said this has the feel of as close to must win as you could have this early in the season. Out near center court, Chadika chases it down. 7 on the shot clock to Mendoza. On the near side, Sam Webb pumps the 3, then drives in off the window. The big man goes through. Webb's first points of the game. Lead is 3 for Otero as Keziah Williams attempts to push the pace. Drops it down to Brady Green inside. Out to Ryder McConnell. Pumps the 3. Free throw line. Feigns to try and get the defense by. They don't back away. Half the shot clock elapsed, so Trinkle back to the line. He will reset for a quick hit offense. McConnell. Off a screen of Green. Fall away from the right elbow. Nothing but net for Ryder McConnell. 12:15 to go first half. Plainsmen back within 1, down 14-13. All be run up, and the offense will be set up. Ty Nettles doing the setting. Nettles to Webb on the near side. They play catch as Trinkle is covering Nettles. 10 on the shot clock, so the Rattlers working it down, trying to find an entry pass. They do to Webb. Keziah Williams stepped in and took the charge. Those are the little things, and I know they probably stat them on the bench. But charges taken, Keziah Williams probably leads this team in them. Either him or Brevin Trinkle. Brevin walks it into the front court. Ryder, Brevin, Keziah all outside the arc. Screen set by Green. Off to Trinkle on the far side. Trinkle drives past a Green screen. Up and under. Got it to fall through. Brevin Trinkle's first points of the game. Plainsmen retake the lead. 15-14. 11:20 to go. Next dead ball. Another media timeout. Top of the key. Chadika slings it over toward the Plainsman bench. It's tipped by the Plainsman and into the bench. That will take us to the media timeout. Northeastern 15, Otero 14. You're listening to Northeastern Plainsman basketball on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 15-14, the Northeastern Plainsmen lead the Otero Rattlers. 11:16 to go in the first half of this one. Coverage on the Eastern Plains Sports Network made possible by Better Electric, covering all your electrical work, residential, commercial, agricultural. Better does matter. 970-521-1030. Plainsmen on the media timeout return Keese Davis for Ryder McConnell. Rattlers return Jalen Robinson. Floater up, no good. Keziah Williams down with the rebound on the Nettles miss. Plainsmen toss it into the front court. Brevin Trinkle off the right wing. He'll pull up from 8 in the lane and knock it in. Hot start for NJC offensively. 8 for their first 10 from the floor. They lead 17-14. Run up for the Rattlers. Open three near side from the inner to on Dacio Gonzalez. Rebound is easy collected by Keziah Williams for the Plainsmen. Keese and Keziah outside the arc. Green off a screen. Keziah just near the top of the key to the left. Near side Keese. Baseline Green. Backs his man down. In the lane, 2. Back iron tumbles in. Brady Green knocks it down. 6 Plainsmen have already scored. They lead 19-14 halfway through half number 1. Ty Nettles runs into the front court. Top of the key, 3. Rainin doesn't go from Shadika. With the board pulled down by Keziah Williams. Brevin Trinkle runs the floor. Near side for Keziah Williams. In the lane, 2. Rolls over the rim and in. 7th Plainsman to score. Plainsmen lead by a touchdown, 21-14. Ball worked around far side. Gonzalez drains the long-range shot, ends the 10-0 NJC run. Plainsman lead is 21-17. Keese Davis walks into the front court. Owen Wright, near side. Finds Keziah Williams. Keziah pocket picked. Give the steal to Javier Mendoza. Javier runs the floor. Blocking foul on Trinkle as Brevin attempted to take the charge. And Javier Mendoza will head to the free throw line. Rattlers as a team, a 69% shooting unit. The one thing they don't really do well is shoot the 3. That's why you're not seeing a wealth of it. Gordon has knocked one down. Suse has knocked one down. Gonzalez has knocked one down. Only attempted 5 shots. First free throw for Gonzalez. Toilet bowls around, or for Mendoza, pardon me. Toilet bowls around and down. Camille Domingo and Justin Sapoyan, Owen Wright and Brady Green out. Plainsmen have been able to stay comfortable in their substitution pattern. If Mendoza makes the second, he is out. He does and will head to the bench. Back on comes Ahmed Cisse, the freshman from Harlem. 21-19 NJC, 9:22 to go in the first half. Keese Davis walks it into the front court and sets the offense up. Keese works to his right. Back up top for Brevin Trinkle. Brevin. Keziah Williams on the near side. Keziah drives in, knocked off the window, doesn't go. Justin Sapoy cleans up the dirty work and knocks it back in. First offensive rebound gives us a 23-19. We have a 23-19. 8:45 to go in the first half. Nettles pulls in, 10-foot jumper rolls, rim does not go. Ooh, Camille Domingo down with the rebound. The Plainsmen bolt into the front court. Keese Davis past everybody, through contact, shot does not go. Camille down with the rebound, mauled on the putback, doesn't get a call. Loose ball ends up in the hands of Keese Davis. Ball tossed around near side, Keziah Williams. He shovels in the lane to Camille Domingo. A massive humanity hits the floor. Arrow is NJC, so it will still be Plainsman basketball. The first havoc of NJC Otero. It will not be the last. Start to see the intensity cranking up as this first half progresses. Tossing Keziah Williams. He jabs and drives. Fall away blocked by Cisse on his shot. Loose ball picked up and Nettles runs the floor. Nettles pulls up from 16, right elbow, and knocks it in. First points of the game for Ty Nettles. 8 to go first half. Plainsman lead 23-21. Keith Davis runs into the front court wanting a point guard. He's been working much better off ball. Keziah Williams on the Bank of Colorado logo far side. Camille Domingo, left mid block. Out to Keith Davis, 9 on the shot clock. Keith drives in, the seal from Sepoy does not go. Rebound is collected by Rivers. He launches it up the floor. Keziah Williams attempting to take the charge. Oh my goodness. Okay, I counted to 1,003 in my head. You've got to blow that whistle when the foul happens. I'm not saying it wasn't a block, but call the foul when it happens. 23-21, Northeastern leads Otero. Media timeout on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Plainsmen lead the Otero Rattlers 23-21 as we welcome you back to the Bank of Colorado Event Center. 7.5 to go in the first half of the Region 9 South battle. Northeastern Plainsmen started hot from the floor, have continued to be hot. By my unofficial tally, they are 11 of 16. Foul called on Keziah Williams before the timeout. He is one that exited for Noah Adamczyk on the media timeout. Rattlers return Jaden Gordon as well. First free throw for Ahmad Cisse. He has 4. Jaden Gordon scored the first 7 of the game for the Otero Rattlers. Others have found their way into the column. Second free throw does not go, and Camille Domingo rips down the rebound. Plainsman lead is 1. 7:25 to go in the first half. Adamczyk walks into the front court, setting the offense up. Help across on him. Pass to Keith Davis, near corner. Rattles it in from downtown. Good find on the skip pass by Noah Adamczyk across to know the defense would not be able to pursue. Robinson quickly up for the Rattlers. He'll slip it off to Cisse near side. Hammers rim, does not go in. Keith Davis gets the rebound but is standing on the sideline as he attempts to fling it off a Rattler player. Inbound to the right of the hoop. Drop into the lane. Plainsmen tip the basketball intended for Rivers. Shovel in and a quick fling off the window that doesn't go for Robinson. Rebound down by Domingo. He runs the floor for NJC. Domingo near side finds Trinkle. Trinkle to his right, now in the lane. Ball away. Ball off the rim, going out of bounds off of Otero. Seven fouls called so far. Saw a loosely called game in the women's side in the first half that ended up a slugfest in the second half. Hopefully you can avoid that here. Inbound pass to Camille Domingo. He drops it off to Sepoy, whose shot is stuffed. On to the near side. Quick run up. Robinson finds Shadika. Shadika off to Cisse. Now Rivers in the lane. Little step through. Jaden Gordon flutter up and in his first points in his first 3 minutes of the game. He has 9. 26-24 NJC's lead is 2 under 6 to go first half. Adamson sets it up top of the key. Off to Keith Davis. Davis driving, shoveling. Trinkle near side 3. Hammers rim. Rebound picked up by Cisse. Quickly pushed up the floor for the Rattlers. Shadika rolls the iron. It is off the mark, no good. Put back from Robinson doesn't go, and the board is collected for the Plainsmen. Quickly out in front, Keith Davis to the window. Rebound down by Camille Domingo. We finally get a whistle. The officials continue to look at the players on both, or the players continue to look at the officials on both ends of the floor like, what do I have to do to get a foul call? Domingo will head to the line. I'll give him credit, it's been consistent. We have not had an egregious disparity on either end of the floor right now. 5 fouls on Otero, 3 on NJC. Ryder McConnell and Brady Green on for the Plainsmen. Domingo, who struggled offensively last night, can't get either to go there, and Rivers comes away with the rebound. Cisse trotting into the front court, covered by Keith Davis. Into the far corner, a 3 up, rattles around, does not go. Rebound out off of Sam Webb. Needham Shadika, the freshman from Houston, shown as a big man willing to step outside the arc and shoot for the Rattlers. Keith Davis finds Noah Adamczyk, and Noah will instigate offense this time to his left and his right, high right elbow. Ball tipped out of his hands and dumps into the corner for Camille Domingo. 10 on the shot clock. Enter into Brady Green on the post. Left block. He is blocked on his shot by Sam Webb, who collects the rebound on the block shot. Quickly up the floor, push the Rattlers, still 26-24 NJC. Shadika bombs a 3 off the backboard. Webb comes down with a rebound. The Rattlers will reset with Gordon. Gordon driving right wing, kicks into the near corner. Shadika. Drag across, 2 on the shot clock, and the shot not off in time. Phenomenal NJC defense, not allowing Jalen Robinson to get a take. That's just the second empty possession without a shot. Well, no, they did have a shot in that. So an offensive rebound, but a shot clock violation, just second turnover of the game for the Otero Rattlers. Keith Davis launched it high over the head of Ryder McConnell. That's the Plainsman's 5th turnover. 4:04 to go in the first half, still 26-24 NJC. Robinson saunters into the front court. Cisse, backside feed, down underneath, finds Sam Webb. Webb with the layup and ties us for a 3rd time this afternoon. 26 all. Keith Davis walks into the front court. Noah Adamczyk around a screen of Domingo, whips it into the corner. Keith for 3, rolls off the rim and does not go. Rebound pulled down, quick launch up the floor by Webb. Rattlers push too hard, too hot to handle, and we head to the under 4 media timeout at 26 all. It's Northeastern and Otero on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 26 all between NJC and Otero as we welcome you back into the Bank of Colorado Event Center approaching halftime. 3:28 to go. They correct the clock on the media timeout. Buckeye Welding Supply knows that you have questions and they have answers. Our area welders knows what sets Buckeye Welding Supply apart. Now you can too. 330 South 11th Avenue in Sterling. Keith Davis with the ball walks into the front court for the Plainsmen. Noah Adamczyk in the far corner. Lost his defender. Launched a three, and Webb comes down with the rebound. A lot of three-pointers the NJC Plainsmen don't need to be taken right now. Unwillingness to go back to what started this basketball game and attacking the hoop. Open three, far side, Cisse knocks it down. He has 7, and the Rattlers have a lead. The 6th lead change tonight, 29-26. Keith Davis. Enter pass to Brady Green, baseline Webb, kick near side, Adamczyk 3, up and in. Ties the ball game back on that baseline pass for tie tonight. 29 all, 2.5 to go before halftime. Run up for the Otero Rattlers in Jaden Gordon. Gordon pushes off far side for Robinson. Back to Gordon, then Robinson in front of the Plainsman bench. Baseball across near side for Shadika. Dropping in down to Webb. Webb and Green went knee to knee. Both took a tumble, and the ball went off the bicep of Green. Unintentional contact between the two. Still Otero ball. 4 on the shot clock. Quick into Cisse. He fumbles it away, and he has to huck it up from 35 and knocks it in. He didn't have a choice, and it paid off. He has 10 points, 32-29. Adamczyk trots into the front court. Off a screen. Noah drives. Fall away baseline. 2 rolls rim. Does not go in. And Shadika comes down with the rebound. Walk up for Jalen Robinson. Sepoy and Wright will be back at the table next time. The Plainsmen have changed up their combination of big men. It was Wright and Green yesterday, Domingo and Sepoy, and now they've flip-flopped those for this matchup with Otero. Nettles, 5 on the shot clock. Near side, Shadika. He shovels it out. Webb from 25. Back iron does not go. Rebound down. Putback will not go. And Ryder McConnell boxed out Cisse, and the Plainsmen will get it back on the Rattlers' 6th foul.
That's his first, team 6. Checking in for the Plainsmen, number 13, Justin Sepoy, and number 15.
Plainsmen have run their guards a lot longer than they normally do in their rotation. 1:10 to go before halftime. Keith Davis trots into the front court. Keith cross the screen from Sepoy down into the corner. Adamczyk for 3. Nothing but net. Adamczyk with 8. Assisted bucket ties us for a 5th time tonight. 32 all. 45 seconds to go before halftime. Nettles content to work the pace. Good hedge screen by Sepoy. He does it again, preventing Nettles the penetration. Nettles now trapped. 5 on the shot clock. Webb, he drives up off the window. Toilet bowls it in, does the Australian. 6 points. Shot clock off. Plainsmen down 34-32. Can have the final shot of the first half. Noah Adamczyk crosses the stripe. Adamczyk uses a screen from Sepoy. Shows the 3. Tries to drop it off to Sepoy. Punched out of bounds by Shadika, and the Plainsmen will inbound on the baseline. With 3.2 seconds to go before halftime. Keith Davis drops it in. Owen Wright spins in, fouled with 0.8 seconds left, going for the dunk to invigorate the audience. Jalen Robinson with his first.
His first. Team set.
2 free throws for Owen Wright. Plainsmen are just 1 of 4 this afternoon at the charity stripe. Wright cannot make the first. Second for Wright. He knocks it in. 34-33 will be our score as we head to the locker room. The Otero Rattlers lead the Northeastern Plainsmen in what's been a rugged battle thus far. Halftime coming up on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back inside the Bank of Colorado Events Center as we head toward half two, the Northeastern Plainsmen trail the Otero Rattlers 34-33. I'm Ben Bleck of the voice of NJC and talked about it in the pregame show. You knew this is going to be a close one for these two teams who, between them, have played 21 games over the last two seasons. Not necessarily against one another, but 21 games decided by a single possession. You knew this was going to be a battle. And so we talked about it in our key to the contest. Do everything right. You're not going to be perfect because perfection is unattainable. But you do everything right, and you're going to be good enough to win this game. And both these teams did a lot of things right in the first half. 8 combined turnovers in half one. The Rattlers had 3, the Plainsmen had 5. The Plainsmen shot 14 for 27 in the first half, better than 50% for a team that's a 43% shooter. That's just enough good that was there. Rebounding battle was about dead even, second chance points opportunities. We didn't have a lot of fouls, but you know at halftime both these coaches are making adjustments. And if you're NJC coming into this second half and you look at this ball game, you know you're not going to shoot 14 for 27 again in the second half. You're not. It's not attainable. But if you continue to take the shots that you did, get to the hoop, attack the rack, open those kicks for the threes, which is their entire perimeter offense, drive and kick, not just settle for the jumpers and what have you. And the same for Otero. You know that NJC's not going to shoot 14 for 27 again, but you can't let off defensively. They were there on that defensive effort every time. You just have to continue to do those right things and find that matchup that you like. Noah Adamczyk proved that he could be a matchup problem. So did Keith Davis. But I think the matchup that the Plainsmen need to exploit as we head to the second half is Justin Sepoy. There is not anybody on this Otero team that can hang with Justin Sepoy's both height and size. Sam Webb gets there close, but Sam Webb is nowhere near as quick as Justin Sepoy is in the lane. So you need to find a way to exploit that matchup like you did early. Marco Rangan, 6'7", Australian that started on Sepoy. He was out of the game 3 minutes in because of foul trouble. If you can find a way to attack there and give that foul trouble early, you can drastically shift this game if you're either of these teams. And if you're Otero, if you can handle that attack, knowing that Eddie Trinkle is going to continue to try getting in and working that ball in. We talked about it right before break when Coach Eddie Trinkle said, and after break, that New Year's resolution, if you will, for Eddie Trinkle as a coach was get Justin Sepoy more involved. And by nature, Owen Wright and Brady Green, when they're playing those post positions, get your post players more involved. Continue to do that. Outside of Sepoy, Green took a shot. Wright didn't take a shot. He was fouled while shooting and ended up at the free throw line. You only had 6 of your 27 shots attempted by post players in the first half. I think you need to find an exploit to that post if you're the Northeastern Plainsmen heading to half two. Half two is brought to you by Melinda Hutt, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, 970-526-0202. Rattlers with the ball in their navies, working right to left, will begin in possession in half two. All walk into the front court, and the offense set up. Starters on the floor for both teams. That's Ahmed Cece, who is the only player in the game in double figures with 10 points. He gets it far side. Rangan blocked from behind by Domingo. Keith Davis comes up with the ball. Turning a quick run of the floor, no transition for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Adamczyk near corner for Ryder McConnell. Ryder gives it off. Adamczyk off a sweep to Sepoy, and Sepoy stripped as he elevated and kneed the basketball out of bounds. So the score remains 34-33 Otero. Just more than 30 seconds into the second half. Past the stripe comes Robinson. He works it near side on the Plainsman. Pete Insignia on the left wing to Rangan. Rangan skip across far corner. Robinson from downtown knocks it down. Robinson with his first points tonight. 37-33 Rattlers. Plainsman run up the floor. Keith Davis attempting to dish it off to Sepoy. Punched by the Rattlers. They run the floor. Flutter into the far corner, and Jamie Rivers out up top. 3 launch, doesn't go. Camille Domingo comes down with the rebound on the miss from Robinson. Domingo runs, finds Sepoy right to the hoop. The big man finishes. That's 9 for Justin Sepoy this afternoon. Plainsman down by 2, 37-35. Jalen Robinson runs into the front court and sets the offense up. Jamie Rivers out up top. Off to Rangan. Fall away off the iron, no good. And the rebound is pulled away by Domingo. Ryder McConnell trots past half court this time. Hands it off to Domingo. Spins in the lane and fumbles the ball away. He is struggling offensively since Christmas break. Near side 3, way short. Rebound tipped and into the hands of Keith Davis on the missed shot from Robinson, who's frustrated with himself. Rushed a shot there. That's not the offense for Otero. NJC needs to take advantage of it. Ryder McConnell, near side, drives in on the bodies. Ball banging around on the floor. Traveling call as the rebound was collected by CC. And then he fell down. In falling down, his pivot foot came up. So the Plainsmen get a fresh 20 out of it. Gaming possession was never completed in the change. Keith Davis did not establish himself inbound. The ball to Camille Domingo was punched by Webb, and Davis had not had both feet inbounds before he possessed it. So that is a turnover for NJC, still down 37-35. Jalen Robinson runs into the front court. Robinson works it off far side. Rangan launches a 3, hammers iron, chased down, and Ryder McConnell flung to the floor. Off ball as Camille Domingo comes up with the rebound. Ahmed Sisi and him have been entwined all night long. And Sisi flung Ryder McConnell away. In the battle for the rebound. Really no protest from the Rattler bench. They will put some pressure up here, though. Cece into the backcourt. He will hound Noah Adamczyk. Adamczyk past the stripe. Keith Davis on the Northeastern end at center court. Ryder McConnell to his right. Half the shot clock elapsed. Back up top for Adamczyk. Adamczyk flies in, lets the defense go by. High back iron does not go. Sepoy collects the offensive rebound on the baseline. Out to McConnell. Launches a 3. Does not go, and the rebound is picked up by the Rattlers. They'll push up the near side of the court. No transition again, so comfortable in that half-court set. Still with the 2-point lead. Top of the key, CC. To Rangan, far side. Rangan, fall away 2, rolls over the rim and tumbles in for the Aussie. His first point since halftime, 4 in the game. 39-35 lead for the Otero Rattlers. Keith Davis walks up, left side, shows the 3. Not really getting into the offense. It's an ISO for him. Shot does not go. Sepoy down with the rebound, stripped by Gordon, but Gordon was standing out of bounds when he tried the strip. So it will still be NJC basketball as Davis inbounds baseline. Sepoy off to Adamczyk. Adamczyk, baseline, spins, drops. 8 in the lane for Domingo that doesn't go. Sepoy cannot find a handle on the basketball. We said at halftime, you're not going to continue to shoot better than 50%. NJC's 1 of 6 out of the locker room in the first 4 minutes of this second half. Right at 16 to go. It is not the under 16 timeout. Next dead ball now will take us to the media. Jaden Gordon walks into the front court. Gordon covered by Adamczyk. Slings it up top for Rivers. Rivers around. Gordon driving. Left corner. And Adamczyk tagged with the foul as Gordon made the move in. We're to the media timeout in half two, 15:39 to go. NJC trails Otero 39-35 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Plainsmen trail Otero 39-35, 15:39 to go in half number two. Rudy's Tires has locations all across the area, so there's always one close by. And if you can't get to them, they can come to you. Rudy's Tires presenting Eastern Plains Sports Today, 1 o'clock weekdays on 1010 KSIR with yours truly. 2 free throws on the foul on Noah Adamczyk heading into the media timeout. First one is up and no good for Jamie Rivers, a 6'9" sophomore from Ohio. In spite of NJC's offense not doing what it needs to do, they are winning the rebounding battle in this second half. Coming up with another on the second miss as Ryder McConnell picks it up. The Plainsmen have an 8-2 rebounding edge since halftime. Keith Davis dictate the flow of the offense at the volleyball 10-foot line. Sapoy out with the screen around to McConnell. He follows on the baseline, looking for a spin in the lane, kicks off to Keith on the left wing. Keith, baseline move, slings it back out up top. McConnell elevates from three, does not go. And I believe Ryder McConnell was tagged with flopping, yes. The embellishment rule. He kicked a leg out to try and entice the foul into being called on his three that didn't drop. So it will lead to free throws. CC misses the one, or free throw, on that embellishment. The Damian Lillard rule, we'll call that. Even though I love Dame, he's the reason that that was put into play in NBA. There's other flopping rules that LeBron James caused to happen, but the leg out on the three that Ryder had there was from Dame. 15:08 to go, second half. Jaden Gordon will walk it into the front court for the Otero Rattlers. On the Bank Colorado sign, right side in front of his own bench. His entry pass stolen away by Brady Green. Noah Adamczyk attempting to run the floor. He's knocked to the deck. Ball went out, touched by an Otero Rattler, and Noah slowed to get up. He's still grasping onto that right shoulder. And he will have to come off. I don't know if it was a shoulder or the elbow he banged on the floor. But he can't really get that arm out straight for a guy that's been dealing with an ankle now as an upper appendage issue. Into the lane for Owen Wright goes the inbound pass from Keith Davis, stolen away by the Rattlers. And the wild shot for Jamie Rivers is out of bounds. Not a ton of steals in this game. Not a ton of turnovers in this contest. But the last two have been created by big men. Still 39-35, Otero with 14:40 to go in the first half. Keith Davis Runs past the stripe, slings it across to Brevin Trinkle in front of the Plainsman bench, far sideline. Brady Green backs his man down. Brady to the rim, under the contact of Rivers. Will head to the free throw line. You look at Brady and you don't think this is a guy that's going to have a quick move in the lane. Everything he does not support that type of movement. And then he gets in there and has that little drag drop under, and all of a sudden he's behind you. First free throw does not go for Green. That's what killed NJC last night. Just 8 of 19 from the free throw line. 2 of 7 today. I hadn't even talked about how good they'd been shooting free throws in 2025. They were above 70% heading into this weekend. It's not my fault. Sometimes I will create a broadcaster's jinx. Green makes a second. Plainsman down 3, 14:25 to go in the second half. Jalen Robinson trots into the front court. Ty Nettles came in for the Otero Rattlers. Nettles been largely held in check. Baseline. Trying to jump into contact was Jalen Robinson. He came back down, had not voided possession of the basketball. So that will turn into a turnover for the Rattlers. Plainsman down by 3. Bring it up. Skip pass across far side. Trinkle for the tie. Missed everything. Easy rebound pulled away by Gonzalez. He runs the floor, pushing far side. Swings it up top for Rangan. Rangan back to Robinson. Backs off 10 on the shot clock. Green attempted to go with the drive of Robinson and hedged into him. Instead of just funneling him, staying behind and not allowing him that penetration, funneling him to the sideline, he stepped up to try and completely stop that penetration. Baseline drop to Rangan, who backs right down, spins back to his right, and right on his right shoulder, fouled him, Owens' first, team's third of half 2.
Number 24, Marco
Rangan sat most of the first half in foul trouble, so this is his first free throw attempts. Rattlers have not been good at the line in the game either. They're 3 of 7. 4 of 8 as Rangan knocks in the first. We see Sam Webb come on. Webb was a problem. 6 points, 4 rebounds in the first half. Largely didn't battle Sepoy. Rangan makes both free throws. He has 6 points. Lead is up to 5, 41-36 for Otero. 13:20 to go in the second half. Keith Davis trying to direct flow on that double high post off a screen. Keith blow by, drop baseline, finds Green, lays it up and in. Work with the 2 high and drop one of the posts in off a screen, off the offside, and an easy drop in. 3 for Nettles. Hammers the front iron. Loose ball, fought by Green and worked out of bounds off of Sam Webb. That was a rushed shot by Ty Nettles. Really nobody for Otero in position to rebound. They still managed to wreak havoc. Plainsman down 41-38, 12:45 to go in the second half. Trinkle, McConnell, Green in the high post. Hands off to Keith Davis, shows the 3, whipped down underneath. Green blocked by Sam Webb, who collects the rebound. Quickly tossed up the floor. Transition bucket, and Ryder McConnell stripped it out of Rangan's hands and out of bounds. Keziah Williams will come on for Ryder. 12:27 to go in the second half. Drop in, near side. Gonzalez and Rangan outside the paint with Robinson. Nettles as well. Only man inside is Sam Webb. Now Webb steps out, working that cut screen in. Far side, Nettles 3, hammers rim. Keith Davis pulls away his 7th rebound of the contest. Keith up the floor to Keziah Williams. Keziah down underneath. Owen Wright can't finish. Nettles pulls the board away. Plainsmen are trying to get into the lane, trying to get their posts involved. They're just not finishing at the rim. Sling into the near corner, Gonzalez for Otero. 15 on the baseline off the side of the backboard. Into the lane to Nettles, who's knocked to the deck. Gonzalez had his missed shot. It was so off so woefully, it ended up right in his hands. Plainsman will send Otero to the line. It's our under 12 media timeout with 11:40 to go in the second half. 41-38, Otero has the lead. You're listening to Plainsman basketball on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Plainsmen trail the Rattlers 41-38, 11:40 to go in half two. Welcome you back inside the Bank of Colorado Events Center. Gordon Insurance wants you to be prepared for everything life throws at you. Car insurance, farm insurance, life insurance, crop insurance. It's all at Gordon Insurance. 970-526-6139. Here's an interesting little nugget as Keziah Williams came in right before the media timeout. His sister Kiara Williams is playing in Haxton this afternoon. Just started the fourth quarter. She has 23 points and 16 rebounds. Both of those Williams children started their basketball careers right here in Sterling, Colorado. Dad played here at NJC. First free throw for Nettles, up and good. Second rolls around and falls in as well. Lead back up to 5. Plainsmen quickly run. Keziah Williams out in front, feeds it to Brady Green. Green backs his man down through a ton of contact, gets the foul call. You just have to keep going to it. Marco Rangan picks up his third foul on the help side. There's been a lot of contact. A lot of it has been let go. But at some point, you are going to get exactly what you got there with the help side coming across that you can jump into that contact. You have to make a free throw as well. If this team has to run lines for missing free throws, Monday's practice is going to require a few trash cans because they missed a lot of free throws last night and have missed a lot today. Another, but Brevin Trinkle goes in and gets the rebound to keep it Northeastern basketball. Keith Davis runs into the front court. He sets the offense up. Keith off a screen, drives into the lane, right to the rim. Shot does not drop. Green on the floor. Did we get a timeout or a jump ball? They will go jump. Green was tied up with himself. He had the ball trapped on his thigh and was trying to figure out how to get it into his hands to make a pass when Otero made the held ball situation. So an inbound to the left of the hoop from Keith Davis. Off on the near side to Owen Wright. Keziah Williams, right wing. Slings it out up top for Trinkle. 10 on the shot clock. Keith Davis puts up a Plainsman penny three. Rebound long. He is hung out to dry on a 2-on-1 and forced the dipsy-do to come awry. Nettles fighting for the rebound, comes up with it for the Otero Rattlers after the miss from Gonzalez. Nearly halfway through the second half. Robinson. High feed, tipped by the Rattlers and turned over. That is just the 7th turnover of the game for Otero. Plainsmen only have 10. Keith Davis walks it up 43-38. NJC down by 5. Have trailed since the middle stage of the first half. Keith out up top for Brevin. Away from a screen from Brady. Brevin off to Keith, who works baseline right to the window. Got a ton of contact as he's knocked to the deck, and Sam Webb whistled for the foul. As I've talked about on my broadcast before, I spend my life in a basketball gym in the winter with my children all playing and wife coaching and whatnot. And one of the biggest challenges to teach young women, because I'm a girl dad, by the way, I have 4 of them. One of the biggest things to teach young women is to not run your arms forward when trying to block a shot. That's what Webb did right there. If he keeps himself up straight, he doesn't get called for the foul, but he ran his arms forward onto Keith Davis and was whistled for the foul. Keith makes the first free throw. Plainsmen bring Owami Chongo in for the first time this afternoon. Noah Adamsek also on as well. Rattlers bring Needham Shidaka in for the first time in the second half. Keith tickles the twine on the second. He has 9. Plainsmen down 43-40. Jaden Gordon walks it up the right side, feeds into the lane for Nettles, shoves it off the rim. Rebound pulled down by Owami Chongo. Chongo hands it off to Keese, who runs the floor. Baseball pass to Owami, far side. Owami, the freshman from Mozambique, gets a screen from Green. Dropping off in the lane, it's stolen away by Shidaka. Shidaka runs the floor out in front for Nettles. Shot does not drop. Rebound down by Owen Wright. 9:25 to go. We only have 83 combined points for a Rattler team that played in a 217 combined score last night. Wright, Euro step through off the window, doesn't go. Fumbles away his rebound to Sam Webb. Jaden Gordon walks into the front court. 9 remaining in the second half. 3 top of the key, doesn't go. Right down with the rebound, and he is flattened by Sam Webb. That is Webb's 3rd foul. He is dismayed as Webb, but again, you bring the arms down when colliding with somebody. How does that old adage go? If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So when you bring the arms down, if it looks like a foul, and now Webb is continuing to pantomime with his hands behind his back like he's not allowed to play with his arms, and Samuel Coleman will quickly pull the freshman off the floor. Coleman is not happy with Webb either. Webb still thinks he's in the right. He's not. Keith Davis drives in. Alley-oop floater far side to Owen Wright. He dunks it down. Owen Wright gets the Plainsmen within 1. That post change back to Jamie Rivers, who typically is not in against this post combo, Green and Wright. Nettles flies in. His scoop shot up no good, and Green comes down with the rebound. Plainsmen can take the lead. Up the floor comes Wright. He flies in the lane through contact from Shidaka, and he'll head to the free throw line. Chiadika, pardon me. I must have missed a couple letters when typing that in on my score sheet. First free throw ties the ball game at 43 for Owen Wright. Justin Sepoy in for Brady Green. Posts have won the battles today for the Northeastern Plainsmen by and large. Sepoy's been the beneficiary on the offensive end. Second free throw in for Owen Wright. Plainsmen take the lead. 7 lead changes, 6 ties. 8:18 to go, 44-43 NJC. All trot into the front court. Noah Adamczyk with the steal. He runs the floor right to the hoop, lays it up and in. Adamczyk with 10 off his first steal of the game. The Plainsmen lead 46-43 on what is now a 7-0 run. Nettles off a screen. Good help by Sepoy to tip the basketball. Nettles will get a 3 and tie us. His first from downtown drained. 46 all, our 7th tie this afternoon. Adamczyk runs into the front court, goes right to the hoop, off the window, does not drop. Ball ping-pongs around, ends up in the hands of the Otero Rattlers. Quickly up the floor comes Nettles, and he is fouled. And as expected, we have a ball game on our hands. 46-46 is our score with 7:27 to go in the second half. You're listening to Northeastern Plainsmen basketball on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Northeastern Plainsmen Otero Rattlers tied at 46 as we welcome you back into the Bank of Colorado Event Center with 7:27 remaining in the second half. It will be free throws for the Otero Rattlers as the foul on the Plainsmen was no, it was not. So it was in the act of shooting for Nettles. It was just the 5th on NJC in this second half. Owen Wright tagged with the foul. Nettles made both at the free throw line earlier in this half and makes the first here to give the lead to Otero. 8 points for Ty Nettles, but just 2 of 9 from the floor. Much like, who was the point guard for the Otero women? Alyssa Trujillo. Been largely held in check. Second free throw does not go. Rebound down by Justin Sepoy. Quick toss up the floor for Noah Adamczyk. He'll pop a 3. Rolls off the rim. Ball goes out of bounds off an Otero Rattler. Ill-advised 3. Good fight by Sepoy to ensure that NJC maintained possession. Keith Davis inbounds to the right of the hoop, down 47-46 with 7:18 to go in the second half. Keys tosses it in to Adamczyk out up top. Noah off a screen around near side to the hoop goes Keith Davis. He pops it out to Awami Chongo from downtown. The Northeastern Plainsmen drain a long-range shot and take the lead 49-47. Fourth assist for Keith Davis. Steal for Noah Adamczyk. Quickly running the floor. Adamczyk to the hoop. Looked like it was a cylinder violation on the dunk for the Plainsmen, not whistled. And then on the rebound and the run of the floor, you had a Rattler player, Jamie Rivers, down, grasping his back as Adamczyk came up with the steal. Adamczyk still the only Plainsman in double figures. 6:39 to go. Staying on is Rivers, but back on comes Jaden Gordon. Gordon tosses it to Rangan, who also returned near side, covered by Owen Wright. Rangan drives in. A little floater off the window ties us for an 8th time tonight. Marco Rangan with 8. The 49-49 with 6:20 to go in the second half. Keith Davis pulls in, swings it off to Awami Chongo far side. Keith clearing out, works away from a screen of Sepoy, and Nettles, conscious of the screen, was then out of position and had to reach on the team's 7th foul. So Keith Davis to the free throw line. 6:09 to go, tied at 49. Keith at 9 points. Misses the first. Ends up with his own offensive rebound thanks to the tip of Awami Chongo. So with 6 to go, Keith Davis backs out. He directs traffic. Keith working across on the near side. He drives to his right, goes to the hoop, through contact over the rim. It tumbles in. And Coach Eddie Trinkle uses a timeout with 5:46 to go. Keith Davis having himself a night of 51-49 with 5:46 to go. 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. We'll take a break. You're listening to Plainsman Basketball on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Plainsmen hold a 51-49 lead, welcoming you back into the Bank of Colorado Events Center. I'm Ben Blecka. Coverage made possible on the Eastern Plains Sports Network by Premier Farm Credit for 100 years. The reliable and consistent credit to our area agricultural community is at Premier Farm Credit, premieraca.com. Plainsmen do not make any changes. Interesting combo out on the floor, but it's working. Davis, Adamczyk, Sepoy, Chongo, and Wright. Sepoy outside the arc. A near steal by Keith Davis as he tipped the ball. Nettles picks it up with 10 left on the shot clock. Rangan around far side. Fall away in the lane. 2. Back iron does not go, and Keith Davis down with his 9th rebound this afternoon. He trots into the front court. Blow around on the near side. High post for Justin Sepoy. Sepoy turns and hands off to Awami Chongo. Works back to his left, top of the arc. Pops it, does not drop it on the long 2. Long rebound, Rattlers run. Baseline, Chongo hung out to dry on the one-on-one. Gordon, who missed the shot, ended up fighting for and winning the rebound. Up to Nettles, who goes up and under, too strong on the take, and Sepoy clears the rebound. He launches quickly to Adamczyk, who runs the floor. Noah Gets it back from Owen Wright and then backs off. 4.5 to go in the second half. Plainsmen lead 51-49. Keith Davis with 8 on the shot clock. Off to Owen Wright. Wright behind the back. NBA range 3 for Keith. In and out. Wright steals the offensive rebound away, and the Plainsmen can work another 20. Keith Davis comes in. I said last night NJC's comfortable winning games in the 60s. Alley-oop backdoor feed to Owen Wright, who felt he was fouled, but he was out of position. His tip does not go. Spin cycle. Nettles runs the floor. Keith Davis fouls him on the floor. Nice defense by Jamie Rivers. NJC has a couple of those pin sets that they like to run alley-oops on. That's widely known, and they defended it nicely there. 3:53 to go, second half. Plainsmen lead the Rattlers 51-49 on Eastern Plains Sports Network.
He'll be back next year. He's redshirted this year on a mission.
51-49, NJC leads Otero with 3:53 to go in the second half. The Otero Rattlers will have the ball on the end line out of the under 4 media timeout. And what's going to come right down to the wire as we expected. 11 games decided by 4 or less over the last 2 seasons for NJC, 10 for Otero. Inbound pass into the lane, and the Rangan shot up, no good, and Ryder McConnell with the rebound as he came in on the media timeout. Ryder McConnell came in for Owen Wright. Camille Domingo on for the Plainsmen as well. Into Justin Sepoy on the near side. Sepoy driving, kicking. Chongo from downtown. Yes, sir! Uwami Chongo from long range gives the Plainsmen a 5-point lead. His second 3 of this second half. Top of the key. Ahmed Cisse came in for the Rattlers. He tries the skip pass across. It's tipped by the Plainsmen and out of bounds on the near sideline. Chongo will defend Cisse on the inbound. Drop in on the left wing to Robinson, who fumbles the ball away. Goaltending call as Camille Domingo was in the cylinder is what the call was. So that will make it 54-51 with 3 to go. Coach Eddie Trinkle doesn't necessarily agree, and they will send him to the bench. I believe that is a reviewable call. And yep, the monitors turned around, so we will go to the review to determine if indeed NJC was in the cylinder. Now, there's a multitude of ways. If the big key, whether you go inside the rim from underneath or outside and try and pull it out, if any portion of the ball is touching any portion of the rim where the cylinder above said rim. That is in the cylinder and would be goaltending. Doesn't have to be a lot. It just has to be enough. I don't know how advanced the video would be with the cameras set where we have them in this gym. It's probably the one to our left up on the ceiling that would have the cleanest look at that cylinder call. And as you know from watching the conference championships or any amount of NFL, the rule does state clear and irrefutable evidence to overturn the call. I don't think you're going to be able to get that here. But essentially this buys another timeout for both of these clubs. Well, they look at the video review with 3 remaining in the second half in a single possession game. 2 officials have looked at it. Now the third will come in and confirm their belief. Continued to see shaking heads there just from reading body language, which again to me shows that there probably will not be an overturn. There's no challenge system like we had in volleyball where they had the green card and you had 2 of them in a match and you only lost it if you lost the challenge. There's no situation like that. But on a dead ball, you can review that, and they have used this as well. We saw it in the Region 9 tournament last year on the women's side. They kind of gave this a play. They would wait until the media timeout to determine 2 versus 3 in some of those situations too. They have reviewed it and signaled basket is good, so goaltending not overturned. Score will be 54-51 with 3 remaining. These officials do a much better job of the hand signals that I can at least read from across the gym. And the Plainsmen, with 3 to go, will walk it into the front court. Still leading by 3. Noah Adamczyk past the stripe. Keith Davis back at the table. Noah drives in left side of the lane. Shot rattles around and tumbles in. Adamczyk with a dozen. He becomes, he already was. And because of the whistle, Adamczyk was entangled in the banner to our right among the cheerleaders. So they were allowing him to get free, and that whistle will allow Keith Davis to come in for Ryder McConnell. 56-51 NJC, 2:35 to go in the second half. Jalen Robinson, top of the key, drives in off the right wing, pushes it up top to Gordon. Back to Gordon, who drives in left wing. Baseball pass toward the Otero bench. High, and Jalen Robinson stepped on the sideline. Rattlers had 3 turnovers in the first half. That's their 8th since halftime. I mean, 11 in a game isn't bad, but when you go from 3 to 8, it is a noticeable difference for how well they hung on to the ball in half 1. Keith Davis runs it up 5. He stutter steps and drives near side. Fumbles it away to Awami Chongo. To Keith Davis in the corner. Keith drops it on the baseline to Awami. He backs his man down, and Jalen Robinson got a hold of him, and Awami Chongo will head to the free throw line. Chongo not a large part of the offense. He's been big today with a couple huge threes. Run into the 1-and-1, knocks it in. Didn't play at all in the first half. He's the 4th leading scorer on the team, even if he misses the second. 2:02 to go. Second, Karam's off, and the rebound is collected by Ahmed Cissé. Rattlers walk into the front court, still just a 2-possession game. Jalen Robinson to his right, 1:50 to go. Weave with Gordon. Now Rangan trying to ISO on Camille Domingo outside the arc. Works to his right, dumps down into the corner. Cisse covered up by Chongo. Shovel off with 3 on the shot clock. A big 3 from the big man, Jamie Rivers, for his first points tonight. Gets the Rattlers within 3 with 90 seconds to go, 57-54. Advanced Agri Solutions has Channel Seed, and they want you to know it now qualifies for rewards through Bayer Plus 970-571-2024. So 90 seconds left. Even if you use the full duration of the shot clock, you're still talking 4 possessions, barring any offensive rebounds. So each team has 2 cracks at it. If you're NJC, you need to score in at least one of those, because that then makes it a 5-point game, requiring the Rattlers to score in both of them without fouling to extend this game, knowing likely that Eddie Trinkle's going to milk this down close to a minute, probably try and get to the hoop. On this possession, if you're Otero, you're then going to quickly try and run, and it would not surprise me if NJC makes it on this first possession of this final 90 seconds if you don't make an immediately foul to put NJC on the line, given that they've not been but about a 50% free throw shooting team today. So there's more than 4 possessions remaining, common wisdom would say, in the sport of basketball. No change for NJC. Uwami Chongo, Camille Domingo, Keith Davis, Noah Adamczyk, and Justin Sapoy on the floor. No change for the Otero Rattlers. Cisse, Gordon, Robinson, Rangan, and Rivers. Keith Davis and Noah Adamczyk bring the ball forward out of the timeout. Noah past half court, sets the offense up. There was something on the floor, a hair tie or an AirPod, or who knows what it was. Piece of tape. So the Plainsmen, 15 seconds left on the shot clock on the inbound. Keith Davis with the clear out. He drops it down into the corner to Uwami Chongo. Back off to Keith. Keith stripped. Defense steal by Robinson. Runs the floor behind the back, and Keith Davis, attempting to steal the ball back, commits his 3rd foul. 7th foul on NJC. So 1 and 1 at the line for Jalen Robinson, the freshman from Colorado Springs. Coach Eddie Trinkle gets into some of these situations where, on paper, Uwami Chongo's not a guy you trust in this situation. He's a freshman, with not a lot of experience, but he is working him in this situation, and he has been phenomenal. First free throw up and in, makes it 57-55 as Robinson buries the bucket. Second goes as well. Robinson all 7 of his points in the second half. Under a minute to go, Plainsmen lead Otero 57-56. Keith Davis fouled as he crosses the stripe, so he answers back in kind, getting the collision with Robinson. That puts Keith at the line. The final 1 and 1 for NJC. That is the 9th team foul. Ryder McConnell at the table. He will replace Uwami Chongo. Incredible minutes for Uwami Chongo. I think part of the reason that I was headed in the Uwami situation is he is much longer than Ryder McConnell. Taller as well, 5 inches there, that has wreaked defensive havoc. First free throw up and in for Keith Davis. 12 points, 9 rebounds. Still 2 timeouts on each side, so this final 52 will take more than 52 seconds. Keith knocks it in. Eddie Trinkle takes one of his final 2 remaining timeouts. And the Plainsmen want to set up their defense, knowing what Otero is going to run. Now remember, this Otero team will shoot the three. It's not an overwhelming part of their game, and I still think it's too early to really consider that three, especially because you want the final possession if you're Otero. So you've got about 15 seconds to get a shot off here. If you milk the full 30, NJC has the final take. If you can get it off by about the 37 mark, you should, if you're Otero, guarantee yourself the final possession. And especially if you can get it off and get within one, then unless NJC hits a three, you're still only going to be down one possession. Rattlers no change. Ahmed CC will inbound. Robinson, Rivers, Gordon, and Rangan. Inbound pass, and Noah Adamczyk immediately fouled. Jalen Robinson, Adamczyk's second. Didn't even allow a second to elapse. NJC's up, right? Scoreboard says NJC's up. You didn't need to foul there. Front end of the 1-and-1, up and in for Jalen Robinson. Chiadika back on. Again, defensive purpose there. Get within one. Does not go. So it's a 2-point game as Robinson misses the second. Ryder McConnell down with the rebound. Ball be walked to half court by Keith Davis. It's thrown away. Ball picked up on the far side and a drive in. Huge stop as Ryder McConnell collided with Ahmed CC, and Ahmed CC turned it over with 33.5 seconds left. Plainsmen take it back, leading 59-57. Keith Davis to inbound, full court pressure for the Rattlers. Inbound pass to Adamczyk, 4-second differential, shot clock, game clock. Noah runs it past half. Fires it away to Camille Domingo. Domingo backs away and gives it off to Keith Davis. And being fouled is Davis by Chiadika. So he'll head to the line. Keith Davis, leading scorer tonight for NJC with 13. Plainsmen in this second half, 8 for 13, 15 feet unguarded. First is up and in, and the morgue erupts in cheers. I felt like me breathing could be heard in the entirety of this gym with as quiet as it was. We'll do it again. Keith Davis. He's up. He's good. A 4-point game and a timeout taken by the Otero Rattlers with 21.1 seconds remaining, and NJC leading 61-57. Well, if you've not made it out to an NJC game this year, you have missed a 4-point game, a 3-point game, and what is now a 4-point game. Plus, last Friday in Lamar, down 22 and came back and won by 2. So all NJC knows how to do is play close basketball games. May as well just show up for the final 5 minutes because that's what's going to decide the game anyway. We'll be here for all 40, but you want to get out here and see this team. We'll be back at home Tuesday night against one of the greatest rivals that NJC has had in their long history in North Platte. And right now, North Platte leads the Region 9 South, so a huge battle, 6 o'clock. Come join us here at the Bank of Colorado Event Center. 21.1 seconds remaining, NJC up 4, Rattlers inbound, and Jalen Robinson runs into the front court. Robinson driving on Adams, that goes right to the window, lays it up and in, and a timeout on the make with 13.4 seconds remaining. as it's back to a 2-point game. You will have to foul if you're Otero, but there's a couple ways you can go. 13.4, you can't wait for the 10-second backcourt violation because that wouldn't give you enough time. So right now, I think you full court press on the inbound pass, and if you're NJC, you need to prepare for this. Part of the reason Ryder McConnell was brought back in to give you another ball handler. Noah, Keese, and Ryder all available to handle the ball, and those are all three guys you want at the free throw line too. You go for a potential steal and then foul if you get beat. Owen Wright inbounds. 61-59 NJC over Otero, 13.4 seconds remaining. Wright has the run of the baseline. Domingo and McConnell in the backcourt. X gets the ball in to Noah Adamczyk, and he's fouled by Jaden Gordon with 11.9 seconds remaining. So back to the line to make this a two-possession game once again. Noah Adamczyk, dozen points, just 4 since halftime, not been to the line tonight. The freshman from Michigan makes the first. Otero is out of timeouts, so they will have to go length of the floor, make or miss an 11.9. Second, it's make. It's a 4-point game. 2 huge free throws for Noah Adamczyk. Inbound pass, tipped by Ryder McConnell, picked up for the Rattlers. Drive into the lane and a jump ball. Arrow stays with Otero with 6.5 seconds left. Who is it but Keith Davis getting the tie up on the drive in with Jalen Robinson. Will still be Otero ball, 63-59, 6.5 seconds left. Inbound pass, slung in through the hands of Rangan to his right, then back to his left. A 3 back iron does not go. Keith Davis with the rebound on the Gordon miss to double-double tonight at NJC. Wins 69. They go to 2-1 in Region 9 South play. Post-game show next on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back inside the Bank of Colorado Event Center, it's a Plainsman win 63-59. Welcome into our post-game show. I'm Ben Blecka, joined by Eddie Trinkle. And, well, you knew that the second day of the doubleheader was going to be a tough and rugged one, and boy, was this. Much lower scoring, I think, than I anticipated. But in the end, you guys got the job done in big ways that maybe don't show up on the stat sheet.
Yeah, defensively, I thought we were really, really good. Like number 24 averages 22 game for him. I don't know let's see what he had, 24, so
8.
Yeah, and we had him down on these stats for 6. So
yeah.
Your stats are probably a little bit more correct than ours, but like you just look. I don't think he scored in the first half.
Nope.
We got him in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was telling our guys. I was like, we took their best piece out and we're still down 1, fellas.
Yeah.
But our kids did a great job of just like handling some pressure. Otero plays a real aggressive half-court defense, and it's not easy to get open. It's not easy to handle the ball. It's not easy to call stuff. It's not easy to make plays. And I thought our guys did, especially the second half, did an unbelievable job, and especially in that last 10 minutes. And I think you're going to bring him up, but like Iwami Chongo stepping off the bench, and he gets a legitimate shot to go in and do some things, and man. He made it. He made him pay. He got him for what, 7 points, 8 points.
Yeah, he hit a couple huge threes and a free throw in that stretch. But I think the thing that is most interesting, and you and I have been together my entire 16 years here. You've been up here 19 years. You've said at times that you kind of just ride a feeling with a guy.
Yeah.
What was the feeling with a freshman in Uwami Chongo who hasn't been in big moments in the game to be in there at that point? It worked, and I thought maybe his length was part of it, but it really seems to me like he's a guy that's gained your trust, even though we haven't necessarily seen him in games in big situations until today.
Yeah, he's had some big scoring games for us, like 16, 17. They've all been on the road, but
right.
He's done a really good job. And, the biggest thing with him, and we've really worked just mentally on this with him, is like defensively of being more of an impact player because of that length.
Right.
He's 6'8", and he's a guard, and he handles the ball and he shoots it. And, he's a little in love, like we talked about the NBA stuff. He's a little in love with that,
Yeah.
And so we've really tried to work with him on, he came over here from Mozambique and was a very heralded player out of their country and for one of the younger kids, and does a tremendous job, I knew when we signed him the biggest thing was just going to be to get him to play really hard defensively, and he's gotten way better. You know what I feel like I'm dealing with? I feel like I'm dealing with Dalton's freshman year.
Exactly.
But but he's really risen to the occasion. And tonight, I went to him because on the bench I could hear him, and he stayed in the game.
Yep.
Even though he wasn't playing, he stayed in the game. And because he stayed in the game, I just felt like, hey, this kid is ready to go in. So I'm like, I might as well throw it out now. And not that Keziah was playing bad by any means. I thought Keziah was playing good, but I was like, let's give him a chance. And he goes in, he gets open on the 3, and nothing but net. He gets a 15-footer, he hits another 3, and you're like, okay, now he gets fouled, and you're like, all right. And then I thought he did a great job on Cisse, number 4, the lefty, of just taking his ability to shoot away. And, he didn't let that kid get his feet set. And when the kid did get his feet set, he was long enough to say, no, you're not going to shoot that. I think also, if I remember right, he had a couple rebounds down here and a couple block shots.
Yes.
So he had a really complete game. But, you asked me, why did you play him? Because he was in it on the bench, and that's why.
And I think that's so important kind of in the teaching mode of basketball, because a lot of guys, especially freshmen, don't get how important it is to still be engaged on the bench. One guy that does that, and he's an older guy, he's our player of the game, is Keith Davis.
Yeah.
But he really today seemed like, whether he was on that bench, whether he was on the floor being the point guard, on the floor being a defensive guy, he understood what he needed to do, and I had him for a double-double in this game today. So huge ball game for Keith.
I mean, he did a great job. You know, he did a great job yesterday, right? But he did even better job today. He called me last night at 12:30, in the morning, and he was like, "Coach, what can I do better to help these guys?" And I mean, he's always thinking of other people, and he's always thinking like he's very much like about like what he needs to do to be better, right? And he plays so hard and so frenetic, and like his turnovers are sometimes like you pull your hair out and you're like,
man.
why? What are you looking at that I'm not? But he plays so hard, it's hard to deny him that. Just like the things that he does for this team. So he's high energy. Like even when he wasn't suited up and playing in the last few games, he was the most high energy guy on the bench.
I wished I could have had him on the broadcast in Lamar, because, I mean, he's just always there.
Oh, he had that thing pumped up, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He was calling plays. He was like, "Coach, what should we call?" I was like, "Keith, let me call this." "I got this, Coach." I was like, "Well, I got it too." But like, "Here, you want to look at the play sheet? Here you go."
This is my job, Keith. So now you've gotten through. Obviously, you wanted to go 2-0.
Yeah.
But you went 1-1. North Platte, leaders in the South right now. One of your biggest rivals that you always play close games with. What's the mindset? How do you prepare over the next 72 hours until we take the court again?
They're going to play just like these guys. They're going to be really hard up and into you, make it really hard defensively, and we got to be able to handle that. And then we got to be able to attack the rim, take good shots, and just do the little things to win games. But keep them off the glass too. They do a great job of pounding the glass, even though they're not huge guys. They pound the glass. So Coach Brandel, who used to be at McCook, we've had some great play. It's kind of funny. Every time I played him, we've kind of been up 10 in that last 2 minutes, and then it comes down to the last second shot.
Kind of like Lamar.
Yes. So it's one of those things that I'm like, man, I've got Coach Brandel. I hope we're up 20 so they can only cut it to 10 this time.
Well, I'm telling you, over the last 2 days, you guys have given us a lot of fun basketball. I'm ready to go run through a wall for these guys right now. So, Coach, congratulations on the win. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it, Ben. Thank you.
63-59, the Plainsmen with the win. Keith Davis, 15 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. He's our player of the game, brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants. As you just heard, North Platte in town, 6 o'clock. On Tuesday, we'll have coverage right here on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm Ben Blecka. Happy Saturday.